Good day, everyone, and welcome to our learning session. I'm your teacher on board, Teacher Rodel. Today is another edition of our School on Air. Let me greet our dear learners at home, especially our senior high school learners. Be with me for the next 30 minutes of our session, and I will be your teacher on air through all this interesting and fruitful study session this morning. Are you ready? Please have your pen, paper, and your module with you. Our objectives: analyze the effects of contemporary economic issues affecting the Filipino entrepreneur. Also, determine the contemporary economic issues and analyze its effects to the Filipino entrepreneurs. Being an entrepreneur is not an easy task. It entails uncertainty and risk, especially in this time of pandemic or the so-called COVID-19. How are entrepreneurs affected by these economic issues happening in the Philippines? Not just in the Philippines, but for the entire world. And how do they cope up? Before we start the next lesson, let us recall the types of market structure and give their characteristics. Are you ready? Let's proceed. Types of market structure. We have 4 market structures. The first one, perfect competition. This is what we call a free competition. Expresses the idea of the combination of a wide range of firms which freely enter or leave the market and which considers prices as information. Since each bidder only provides a relative small share of the good to the market and thus do not exert a noticeable influence on it. Next, we have monopoly. This kind of market is normally associated with entry and exit barriers. All of these features give the monopolies the ability to set prices with the only limitation of consumers' willingness to pay. And the third one, oligopoly. It is a form of market structure that is considered as halfway between two extremes, perfect competition and monopolies. And this kind of imperfect competition is characterized by having a relatively scarce amount of firms, but always more than one, which produce a homogeneous good. And the last one, we have monopolistic competition. It is a market structure defined by 4 main characteristics: large numbers of buyers and sellers, perfect information, low entry and exit barriers, and similar but differentiated goods. So from the previous lessons, the importance of knowing the characteristics of market structure is very important. As a newbie in business, you are looking for a profitable market where you will invest your resources. And you know what? Having resources cannot guarantee an entrepreneur that it will be a big success. Because business, as they say, it is like a gamble. It takes a brave heart to invest their resources with no guarantee that there will be a return of investment. But no worries, in this module, let us discuss the contemporary issues affecting the Filipino entrepreneurs. We have the investment and interest rate. In putting up a business, it is necessary to know the initial investment of the entrepreneur so that he will be able to assess if he needs additional investment. But the question, what is investment? It says here it is defined as building up the capital stock for more future production and consumption. That means when the entrepreneur has no enough investment, he will resort to borrowing or borrow from financial institutions and banks. The borrowing bear interest rates. Okay, so there's an interest rate, and let's see what's the definition of interest rate. This is the amount of interest due per period as a proportion of the amount lent, deposited, or borrowed from the financial institution. And the effects to entrepreneur: low interest rate attracts more entrepreneurs to invest, while high interest rates lessen the opportunity of the entrepreneurs to start their business the company. Next, we have rentals. As an investor or future investor, what will you do if you don't own land or space to be used for your business? What will you do? The answer is you can rent or lease a land or space. But how does rental affect your business operations? Effect to entrepreneur of rentals. In income statement, rental fee is an expense account, which means the bigger the place or space, the higher the cost. Also consider the location because it is more costly to rent in urban areas than in rural areas. I'll give you an example. For example, the rental fee of 100 square meter of land in Pasig City is 50,000 per month. But in Pampanga, with the same area, is only 25,000 per month. So therefore, the size and location matters when planning to rent or lease for your business. Next, we have minimum wage. This is very important. What is minimum wage and how it is determined? It refers to the lowest wage permitted by the law, below which, if paid by employer, will subject him to penalty from the government. In the Philippines, the Department of Labor and Employment, or also known as DOLE, issued wage order for minimum wage earners effective January 1, 2020. But how was minimum wage determined? Minimum wage rates are determined by factors such as poverty threshold, prevailing wage rates as determined by the Labor Force Survey, and of course, socio-economic indicators. Example, inflation, employment figures, and also the gross regional domestic product, among others, which ensure better workers' protection. It is also a protection for the workers. The National Wages and Productivity Board, or NWPC, wage order number RP322, the prevailing minimum wage for non-agricultural establishments employing 10 or more workers in the Region 3, except Aurora, shall pay their employees at 420 pesos per day, while in the province of Aurora, workers in the non-agricultural sector will receive minimum salary of 413 pesos daily. But no worries. Over and above minimum wage is the voluntary productivity boost pay, when encourages workers and enterprises to become more competitive and productive by rewarding employees supplementary pay based on the quality of their performance. So supplementary pay can include the bonuses, the tips, cash out vacation or sick leave. And we have taxes. Tax is the lifeblood of the economy. It fuels the social services provided by the government to its citizens. But how does tax affect the entrepreneur? Effects to entrepreneur: high taxes tend to lessen investment because this is considered an additional cost on the part of the entrepreneur. Low taxes means fewer government projects such as school buildings, roads, bridges, and providing social services to people. How can entrepreneurs gain from tax? Government gives consideration to new entrepreneurs with tax holiday up to 6 years and VAT exemption for purchase of supplies of the firm that is going to export 100% of its product. And for your exercise, read each statement very carefully. Write the word thumbs up if you agree with the statement and thumbs down if you disagree with the statement. You can comment down below your answer. Are you ready? Alright, so the first one is low rental fees mean more business will be created. Do you think so? If there is a low rental fees, there will be more business to be created. That is correct. That is thumbs up. Next, high interest in external borrowings attracts potential investors. Do you think if you have high interest in external borrowings, you can attract potential investors? Very good. The answer is thumbs down because you can attract more potential investor if you have low interest in external borrowing. The third one, increase in minimum wage will increase the buying power of workers. Do you think so? Let me see your answer. Very good. The answer is thumbs up. And for the fourth question, high tax rates means less investors. Do you think if we have high tax rates, there will be a less investors? Very good. It is thumbs up. And the last question, entrepreneurs always consider the following when making business decisions. As a future entrepreneur, do you think you have to consider the following? Rental fees, tax rates, minimum wage rate, amount of investment, and the interest rate. Let me see your answer. Very good. The answer is thumbs up. And for your activities for this lesson, answer activity number 2 and 3 and the assessment page 7 to 8 on your module to be submitted on the next distribution and retrieval of module. And that's it for today. Thank you so much and always keep safe.